Hello and welcome to this audio impulse here. My name is Kern and this is my second audio impulse or episode number 2. And in this audio impulse, I want to talk about a really powerful concept, something that also helped me in my own life to manifest my desires, to understand how the law of attraction works, how the law of vibration works, and how we are creating our own reality. And this is something that I learned from Ernest Holmes. I also want to share a quote of him in this audio impulse. Who was Ernest Holmes? Ernest Holmes, born 1887, he passed away 1960. He was an American New Thought writer, teacher, and leader. He was known as the founder of a spiritual movement called the religious science or the divine science, or also called as the science of mind. This was one of his most known books or most famous books, The Science of Mind from Ernest Holmes. This book was about religious, spiritual, philosophical, and metaphysical concepts. He also talked about the Bible, the teachings of Jesus, and how we can understand it to live an enlightened life, a life where we are conscious, aware, awaken, where we know our true self, and where we can manifest the things that we want to have, and where we can tap into this power of our mind. If we understand how our mind works and how we create our reality by understanding the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And he lived in Los Angeles, California, in the United States of America, like many other famous teachers, writers, and authors. For example, Joseph Murphy, William Walker Atkinson, Neville Goddard, and many other experts in this field of manifestation, metaphysical concepts, the law of attraction, the law of vibration, and so on. And yeah, this was some background information about Ernest Holmes. And the quote that I want to share with you, so that we can really start with this episode, is the following. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. Okay? So if we go through life, if we are not aware about that, that's how most people live in our society, in this human existence, where people are not aware about their true self, living in a matrix. People go through life and they talk about concepts like coincidence, luck, fate, circumstance. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know these things. Things just happen, yeah? Life is just happening. Most people think that life is just happening and that they cannot influence their destiny, their life. Things just come into existence and sometimes they don't even know how. And if we look deeper into this, if we understand the concepts and the ideas, the wisdom of these men, like, for example, Ernest Holmes, Neville Goddard, Bob Proctor, people that I also talked in my channel in different videos where I talked about those experts and personalities, these experts knew that life is not just happening by coincidence, by fate, by luck, yeah, but that life is getting created by everybody, by every individual. You create your own reality. So the reality we live in is a reality that gets created, let's say in another dimension even. The life that most people live in, what they take for real, is the so-called 3D reality. Okay, the 3D reality that you can perceive with your 5 senses. Yeah, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, hearing. And this is the 3D reality that we can perceive with our 5 senses. We see the world outside of us, the external world, and we think this is the only reality we live in, and this is how life gets created, or this is what life is about, or this is the truth of reality. Okay? But if you look deeper and look beyond the concepts of society, then you will see that there's also another dimension of reality that starts in the mind. Neville Goddard, who was an expert in the field of manifestation, biblical scripture, the law of assumption, and the mind, he talked about a so-called 4D reality, a reality that takes place before the 3D reality. And he even wrote a book about this concept called Out of This World, Thinking Fourth Dimensionally. And how does that connect now to the quote of Ernest Holmes? Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. The connection here is that whatever you have in your mind, whatever you occupy your mind with, whatever you impress your mind with, what you are conscious of being, this will be reflected in your reality, in your life. You will attract those things. So life is not something that is just happening outside of you, but life is something that is connected to your internal world. So the external world that you see, the 3D reality, is connected to your 4D reality, your internal world. And this is the world of your mind. Thoughts, emotions, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the interconnection here. I also made a video about that called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, where I talk about the book from Joseph Murphy, also a really famous teacher and New Thought author in this kind of field. I can also link this video here in this audio input so that you can watch it if you're interested in that. The power of your subconscious mind. And also Ernest Holmes understood the power of the subconscious mind. And that life is something that we attract with our thoughts. Because thought is energy. Thinking is energy. In my first audio impulse, I talked about a book called Thought Vibration. I quoted William Walker Atkinson. He was the author of this book, Thought Vibration. Also one of the authors, they call him the three initiates, who wrote The Kybalion, a book that I also talked about many times in my previous videos, the Hermetic Philosophy. And yeah, thought, vibration, thought is an energy, or thinking is energy. And whatever we think about is energy. So whenever we think about something, this is a form of energy. And whatever we put our focus on, whatever we are aware of, this is where energy goes. Where focus goes, energy flows. And energy creates our reality and also attracts things into our existence. So life is a mirror. So if you go through life and maybe you thought about this new book that you have read about the law of attraction, or you listen to a song and you are thinking about your next summer vacation, maybe it's Greece, maybe it's Italy, Europe, maybe it's somewhere in the Caribbean Sea or in the Caribbean, and you think about your holiday, and then you go out, live your daily life, and you start to notice different signs. Maybe you walk across the street and you see a shop with advertising holidays for the Caribbean Sea, for Italy, for Greece, the place where you wanted to have your next summer holiday vacation. Yeah. So that's where you notice, okay, I was thinking about this thing previously, and now it somehow pops out in my 3D reality. This thing that happened here would be called a synchronicity. This is a concept established by Carl Gustav Jung. Carl Gustav Jung was a psychoanalyst, a really famous psychoanalyst, and one of the fathers, I would even say, of modern psychology, who talked about the anima and the animus, the shadow and the ego, the self. He had different concepts of the self. And Carl Gustav Jung established the word synchronicity by writing a book about that. He even wrote a book about the topic synchronicity. The word synchronicity comes from the Greek root syn, together, and chronos, time. So we have together and time, syn and chronos, synchronicity. So it has something to do with putting something together in time. And if you had a synchronicity now, this is something that you always attract. Synchronicities get attracted. These are signs from the universe to show you that everything is connected, that the things that you have in your mind will be shown to you in the outside world. So if you have a synchronicity, the universe just shows you that your thoughts get expressed in your 3D reality. You will have signs. Always before you have your manifestations or before you manifest your desires, typically you will have some signs or synchronicities that show you that you are on the right path and that you attract more and more and more of that what you think about. So this is the quote from Ernest Holmes, that life is a mirror and it reflects back to the thinker what the thinker thinks into it. So your thinking has an effect on the 3D reality. So that's why it's so important to be aware of what you are thinking about. Because if life is a mirror, it will either show you good things that you want to have, desires that you want to manifest, things that you desire, or things that you actually don't want to have, that you would like to avoid, things that you fear, things that you're afraid of. where you have fear, where you're afraid of, things that you don't want to have. But in the most cases in our society, people go through this matrix in an unconscious state. They are not aware that their thoughts, their mind is creating their reality. Ernest Holmes also talked about a different thing. He said that all the power of the universe is within you or with you. Feel it, know it, and then act as though it were true. Okay? The power of the universe is within you. Ernest Holmes wanted to highlight with that you are connected with the universe, that everything is interconnected, that life is not happening separate from you, but that it's interconnected with you. Yeah? Also, I learned from one of my other mentors, Bob Proctor. He said that you are a spiritual being having a mind, an intellect, and living in a physical body. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that everything is connected. In some way, the universe tries to experience itself through your human existence because you come from the universe. You are made by the totality. You come from the absolute, and we go to the absolute. Yeah, energy can never go away. It gets always transformed into another state. So energy always gets transformed. It never goes just away and it's not there anymore. It gets transformed. It comes from one state, it goes into another state. And we as humans, we live in this human experience here, spiritual beings having a human experience, connected with the universe, living this life where we attract things into our life. Yeah, the so-called law of attraction or the law of vibration. Everything vibrates, nothing stands still, from the Kybalion, one of the Hermetic principles. So if you understood the wisdom behind all that now, you will go through life with a complete new perspective. You will understand that it doesn't make sense to fight your current reality, to fight your current circumstances, to be mad, angry, disappointed, frustrated, depressed, sad, all these things, hurt. It doesn't make sense because life is a mirror. It will just reflect back to you whatever state you have. The state you dwell in, how Neville Goddard said it, the state you dwell in, this is what you will express into your physical reality. Whatever state you dwell in with your consciousness, this is what you will manifest and attract, or attract and manifest into your life. So it doesn't make sense to fight your reality if you don't like it. Life is a mirror. So first you have to change yourself. If you don't like what you see in the mirror of life or life, if you don't like what you see in life, it doesn't make sense to judge other people, be angry, find the fault in other people, play the victim and say everybody else is doing me wrong. Yeah, life is unfair. It will not help you, because if you don't like what you see in the mirror, it doesn't make sense to start to change something in the mirror. It will not change the appearance. But if you change yourself, for example, you have a new haircut and then you look into the mirror, you will see the new haircut. You cannot change the haircut in the mirror. You have to change yourself first, get the haircut, for example, and then you will see another appearance in the mirror. This was just an example. So if you don't like the circumstance you have right now, if you are not satisfied with your life, if you are unhappy with your life and your results, and if you are unhappy with the results you have in your life, then you have to go within. Change starts within you. This is where the real change starts, cause and effect. The real cause is in your mind. And if you change your mind, if you change what you focus on, if you change your thoughts, then the effects will change in your reality, in your life results, circumstances, and the reality you live in. There's also another quote that is really similar to the quote of Ernest Holmes, "Life is a mirror." This quote comes from Rumi, a really famous Persian mystical teacher, a really wise man. Rumi said once that whatever you seek is seeking you. Whatever you seek is seeking you. And the important thing to understand here is that sometimes we are seeking things that we don't want to have. I mean, we don't want to have these things in our life. They are not positive, they are toxic, negative. But we are seeking them because we dwell in this state. We think about things we don't want to have. We worry, for example. We are afraid. We think about things we don't like. We think about circumstances and results we don't like. We highlight them by talking to other people about our problems, for example. We highlight those things or give them more energy, more of our energy. If we talk about our problems, worry, dwell on that, this is also a form of seeking, even if most people wouldn't admit that. So it's mostly happening unconsciously. So that's why it's so important to know thyself or to know yourself. I also made a video about that where I quote Aristotle, a really famous Greek philosopher, who said, knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. I can link the video here in this audio impulse so that you can watch it if you're interested in that. And if you know your true self, if you are aware of yourself, if you are an aware human, conscious of what you are creating, conscious of what you are thinking daily, thinking, feeling, because thoughts create emotions and emotions create actions and your actions create the results in life. It's like a chain reaction, right? So that's why it's so important to be aware of those things, because awareness and imagination create your reality. I also made a video about this topic if you're interested in that. The video is called Awareness and Imagination. This creates your reality, where I quote Neville Goddard. I can also link this video in this audio impulse, just if you want to go deeper into those topics. So it's really important to be aware of your thinking, because whatever you think about, this is what will be reflected in your life, because life is just a mirror and it will just reflect what you are aware of, whether you are thinking positively or negatively, whether you are positive or negative, whether you are fearful or faithful, whether you see the light or the darkness. Whatever you focus on, consciously or unconsciously, this is what you will attract into reality, and this will be reflected like a mirror in your life. Life is a mirror, and this will be your 3D reality that gets manifested. So if you want to learn how you can manifest a reality where you can say that you are the conscious creator of this reality, where you master your mind, where you unlock your true potential, where you finally become free of the self-sabotage, where you create things that you don't really want to have in your life, where you sabotage yourself. You want to do something, you want to create something, but you're sabotaging yourself with the wrong thoughts, okay? You have mind attacks. The mind attacks you with different kind of subconscious beliefs. If you want to learn how you can master your mind to manifest the life that you really want to have, your desires, get the physical expression of your desires, okay? That start within your mind and get expressed in your physical reality as results. If you want to learn how you can do this, then I can recommend you my extensive video presentation. It's absolutely free, a free video presentation where I documented my last 10 years of my own life, okay, the last decade. Since 2012, I documented my journey, how I was unaware, stuck in the matrix, where I didn't understand all of these concepts that I talked about in this audio impulse, and what kind of things I learned on my journey that helped me to manifest my desires, to live the life that I'm living today. If you want to learn how to do that, then click on the link below this video. In the video description there's a link, and reserve your spot for my free video presentation so that you can learn how to master your mind and really manifest the things that you truly want to have. If you're looking for someone who can help you on your own personal manifestation journey, if you're looking for a mentor that you can work with on a one-to-one basis, then I can recommend you my manifestation mentoring, okay? In my manifestation mentoring, I will help you to understand more about your true self, and where I will guide you towards your manifestations. And if you're interested in that, then you have the opportunity right now to apply for a free consultation call. This call is absolutely free, where we can talk together to find out if you are a good fit for my manifestation mentoring. You have to apply for that because I'm only willing to work together with people where I have synergy effects, where mentor and mentee have harmony. I only want to work together with people where there's a harmony between student and teacher. So that's why you have to apply for that. But once you apply, you will have the chance to have a free call with me so that I can help you with your manifestations. Therefore, click on the link below in the video description. You can click on the link and then apply for a free consultation call so that we can talk about what you want to manifest, what is stopping you, and how we can help you on your manifestation journey. That's it for now. This was my audio impulse number 2. I hope it could help you in some form. If you like this audio impulse, make sure to give this video also a thumbs up so that I can see that it was valuable for you and that also other people can see or hear this audio impulse. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so far. And you can also share this audio impulse with other people you might know, friends, people you know, if you think it could help them. Stay tuned for more audio impulses, episodes, and YouTube videos in the future. My name is Andy Kern. I wish you all the best, and bye.